Buongiorno a tutti, grazie per aver aderito a questo corso che abbiamo offerto nell'ambito di un progetto di ricerca finanziato dalla Regione Sardegna su metafora e argomentazione. Amitash Ojha è un ricercatore che abbiamo assunto per sviluppare la parte sperimentale di questo progetto e ci sembrava una buona occasione sentirlo perché ha una grande esperienza sul campo e una grande competenza su cosa sono le scienze cognitive oggi, ossia quell'ambito disciplinare che si occupa di trovare risposte a come funzioniamo in qualche modo, cosa sono i nostri processi cognitivi, di quanti tipi sono, come funzionano, che rapporto c'è tra mente e cervello, qual è il ruolo del linguaggio, domande semplici di questo tipo che nascono dal campo filosofico ma oggi trovano risposte anche nella scienza. Il taglio che verrà dato qua è un taglio scientifico di psicologia sperimentale. Vi ringrazio anche perché il corso sarà tenuto in inglese, mi sembra un ottimo segno che siate in tanti ad aver accettato la sfida. Siccome si combina il fatto che non si parli la vostra lingua madre con un tema che può in alcuni punti essere complesso, nel caso non capiate, fateci un segno e cercheremo di risolvere il problema, nel senso che o chiediamo ad Amitash di ripetere oppure vi traduco io all'impronta quello che capisco io. Grazie ancora, lascio la parola ad Amitash. Please.
Do I need this?
No, you have your microphone. Questo microfono serve per le domande perché stiamo registrando il modulo, così ve lo potete eventualmente risentire.
Okay, so am I audible? Can you hear me? Thank you, Professor Gola, and thank you all of you. Before I start anything, I should apologize. I must apologize that I have not been able to learn Italian so far. It has been 3 months I am here, but I promise that next time if we meet for a course like this, I will speak Italian. But in this course you will have to go through English, and I assume that my English is not that bad. And in case in the process, if you do not understand some words because of my accent, Indian accent, and if there is any problem in between, you can just raise your hand or just ask. It would be fine. Okay. So, should we start? Actually, last night when I was preparing or going through the presentation, I also realized that it's better to communicate more with pictures and videos. So that removes the language barrier. So I have tried using most of the time using videos or images. So it should not be a problem. And the way course has been designed is we'll have 1 hour and 1 hour. In between there is a break. You can drink coffee. I'll also drink. And so every Thursday we'll meet. And hopefully next week you will come again. So that's more important. So, okay, before, again, I should also talk about myself, because I am the hero right now, speaking. So, my name is Amitash, and I did my PhD in cognitive science. Now, what cognitive science is, that we'll go through all of this, the entire course, but I mostly work on creativity and metaphors, multimodal metaphors, or you can say more specifically visual metaphors, how images produce metaphors. So it's an interesting topic, but again, since I did my PhD in cognitive science, so it has a part of experimentalism. So we do a lot of experiments using different tools, EEG, fMRI, eye tracking, and all other things. So we'll discuss all of them here. So, okay, so this was the introduction. I hope it was good introduction. And also, it would be nice, you'll see that in the course, it's not monologue. I am not a very good speaker. I hope that some people like it, but it would be nice that you also speak. And not only speak, scream, jump out of this chair and then start dancing. I don't know what all. Don't beat me up in the middle, but just feel free to do anything you want to do, because it's an interesting and exciting topic. You know, before any movie releases, there is a trailer. So you get to know, okay, this is what the movie looks like. So all of this was a trailer. The instructor. Okay, so I should start, and so we have 45 minutes, and I hope that I finish it in 45 minutes. You have seen the course plan, introduction, and we have brain and all other things. So we'll go one by one. Introduction is a general thing. So, okay, let's start. Once more, start. Good. So, cognitive science is an interdisciplinary study to understand underlying processes that allow us to make sense of the world. Now, this is not an official definition. I don't know what an official definition is, but this is what we'll go about. So I'll go one by one. Why it is interdisciplinary? Cognition is all about how we make sense of this world. How am I looking at you? When you respond, I respond. When I speak, you understand. What all is going on in our brain? And what makes you understand what I'm saying? Imagine, picturize, and understand the whole thing. So when people, for how many years, maybe 2000 years, people have been trying to find out that how do we understand? It was studied as philosophy of mind, and then people came up with lots of ideas, about soul. There is a soul inside us which understands. There is something called mind. We do not know where it exists, but there is a mind. So people have been trying to understand it. But the issue became more important when people started making these computers. So when you make computers, you need to formalize the mechanism of human mind, how human mind works. So people came up with formulas that, okay, this must be the process which is going on. And it was not possible only for philosophy to do it. So people from neuroscience came in, and they tried to understand brain. We still have the computer science affecting brain now, understanding of brain. The memory of, the theory of memory, one of the theories suggests that we have something stored in our head and we have to reveal it, we have to remember it. We go as if somewhere there is as if there is something stored in our brain, and then we have to open it and understand it. But anyways, neuroscience, brain studies, psychology was very important because psychology provided the behavioral aspects of mind. Philosophy definitely was important. Linguistics, because language was important. One of the important things is that, I don't know if you have used Google. Google tries to predict your things. And language processing is a big deal, actually. People still are trying to struggle how natural processing happens. So linguistics is one of the part. Sociology was important because, I come from India and I have different belief system. I look at things very differently. And you all are from different background. You look at things differently. So for you, the world is different. For me, the world is different. Anthropology, because we have evolved over a period of time. So all people from different domains, when they come, they try to study cognitive science. So that's where the cognitive science comes in. It has a problem, especially in India and many other countries. There is no department called cognitive science. And the biggest problem is that I cannot get a job. Because there is no cognitive science department. So people ask me, okay, so what have you done? Philosophy? No, sir. Psychology? No. Neuroscience? No. I'm not a linguist. I'm not a sociologist. So what are you? I'm a cognitive scientist. So will you give me a job in your university? There is no department called cognitive science. So we have to go to, psychology department and say, okay, we are also doing cognitive science or psychology. So that's the problem, but later sometime, hopefully, people will have a better understanding of cognitive science. Processes, because it's an interdisciplinary study to understand underlying processes. What are these processes? One of the processes is perception. Now, perception is visual, auditory, touch, smell, taste, a lot of things. But I look at you and I see you. Isn't it magic? Because if you see the camera, cameras don't see things. Actually, we'll discuss more about it. How cameras are not like eyes, but there is a perception which is going on. I am speaking something and then it is being converted into something and then you are decoding it and understanding it. Sound, my gestures, all of this goes into perception. Memory. I hope that I am not using my memory right now because I have not remembered all these things that I am saying. But each and everything that I am saying has a connection with memory. So memory is important. Imagery. When I am saying, I say that imagine a chair. Suddenly something pops up in your mind or brain. Chair comes in. So imagery is also a process. Motor actions. I am using my hands. Language. Intelligence. I hope that I am intelligent. That I am speaking. Otherwise you would say that this guy, he came and he blabbered something and left. Thank God the time is over. I can go back. So intelligence is important. Creativity. I hope all of you are creative, including me. That creativity is also a process which is very important to human mind. I don't know, some people might say that animals are also intelligent and creative. Pet or owners will say that they are intelligent. There is a study which suggests that female monkeys spend a lot of time using comb their hair if they are provided with one. So if you give a comb to a monkey, female monkey, and then you teach them, they'll spend a lot of time. Now, if you are feminist, you can argue that's not right. But anyways, these are some of the studies. So, the last part is make sense of the world. Now, you will say that what is so interesting about making sense of the world? The world is there. If you go out, there is a coffee machine, you buy a coffee and just buy it. But I will now show that this is not the case. The biggest question of all time is, reality is subjective or objective? You know the question? The reality is subjective. Am I seeing all of you in my mind, or are you actually there outside? Actually sitting? Or from your perspective, am I standing and speaking, or you're just imagining? If you say that you are imagining, then my wife will have a problem. Imagine this question. This was a long question. Berkeley also struggled with it. If a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make sound? Imagine a forest. There is no one around and a tree falls. And when the tree falls, it makes noise. And if there is no one to hear, will it make sound or not? You all will have different questions. And all of them are right, because we do not know yet whether it makes sound or not. This is the classical view of perception. This is what we have studied in our school. I hope all of you have studied. There is a sun which produces light, which falls on an object, say a flower, and then it goes to your eyes, and eyes, there is this light goes inside our eyes, and then it reverses. It becomes upside down, and then you imagine or see it. Now this is the classical Platonic view of thing. Imagine, notice that in this case, you are just the passive viewer, passive perceiver. You cannot do anything. Things are just coming to your eyes and you can't stop it until you close your eyes. But look at this image. Do you see something here? No? Do you see a dog? Huh? Horse? Okay. So there is someone who is seeing horse. You can see a dog. Okay. And dog is just doing something. So how many of you see dog here? How many of you see horse here? Or something else? Something like a wolf? Yeah, okay, yeah. Anything, any animal. You see that there is a ear of that animal. So there is a dog. Looks like a dog. But actually it's just the splash of ink. Now see what is happening. Those who have seen the animal, what you have done is that you have projected your idea and then created an image which actually does not exist. Okay. You see a face here? This is a picture from Mars or Moon. Mars also has a similar kind of images. And there are theories that there is a face on Mars. So there are people on Mars, and then maybe they must have died, but they created all these sculptures and everything. Okay. And then, but actually it's not a face. It's just that our projection of face. Our brain cannot see things in chaos. It arranges objects. It creates an illusion that you want to see things as meaningful. Non-meaningful things do not appear. You see a bulge. Actually, all these lines are parallel to each other. It's just an illusion that we are getting. This is called Kanisa's triangle. You can see a white triangle. But actually there is no white triangle. It's just that these edges create an illusion that there is a triangle. A loop, but it's not a loop. If you look closely, all of them are circles. Do you see the moving things? You have seen these images earlier also. But in a perspective, what I want to claim or show is that these things are imagination or creation of our mind. And looking back to that same question, if the tree falls, does it make sound? The question would seem like no. Because if there is no one to hear it, what do you mean by sound? Sound has a meaning only when there is a person to hear it, or anyone who is able to hear. You have seen this picture?
We saw it last year in one lesson.
Okay.
It's very
So,
nice.
It's just the... This one also you have
No,
seen?
go ahead, show, because not everyone
Okay.
know it.
You see the difference in the color. The point is that I'll upload one video also on the course portal. It talks about that color is also our, mind creation, created by mind. There are people who cannot see colors. There are people who see only 2 or 3 colors. So there are different kind of people who see world in different ways. This is a context dependent color. If you remove the context, you do not see the difference. This A and B. Have you seen this image? A and B are 2 different colors, the block. Sure? How many of you say they are different colors? Okay. Those who say they are same, I'll offer them a coffee. Oh, you. So, 1 coffee. So, A and B, they are different colors. Let's say I remove the context. 1 part removed, another part removed. I'm just removing, I'm just putting a band, the last one. The same color. I remove it again. So someone who said, same color, you, 1 coffee. Almost different? Or then maybe that white I have to remove. Anyways, I'll upload this file also so you can play with it and see whether it is same or not. This you have seen. It is one of the very original one which says that you never know which direction this lady is moving. Left or right, right or left. Clockwise or anti-clockwise. In the same room, there are 2 views, whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. How many of you see it clockwise? How many of you see it anti-clockwise? Yeah, so, and there are, internet knowledge which says that if you see it clockwise, then it is your right side of your brain is active. If you see it anti-clockwise, left side of the brain. But we don't know about that. This video, anyone seen? This is interesting. If people have not seen it, then it's interesting. If you have seen it, then it becomes... Okay, so you see the point of this video is that the motion of the ball is not actually the motion of the ball. It's what you create with the help of a shadow. So we play this video and see that it's a straight line ball. Now there is a shadow, still straight line. Now what we do is that we change the shadow and see that how the movement of the ball changes. It looks like the ball is going up now. It's the same thing, but only because there is a shadow, your brain is creating as if this ball is dribbling or moving in a different direction. Good one? Okay. We all have, actually, there is a hole in our eye. All of us. And that is because all the nerves go through that hole. So it's called blind spot. All of us have it. But we never experience it because there is a mechanism of brain which fills in the missing data. And how it does it? It takes the information from your surrounding and then just fills it, so that you don't see the hole. Actually, we should be seeing the world like this because there is a hole in our eye. But the brain has such a wonderful mechanism, it fills it. This is one blind spot test. You cannot do it here because you have to come close to this one. But if you get a chance to download this video, thing, you can check that what is the distance where you just find your blind spot. Close your left eye and then go closer to this circle without looking at the circle. This is the plus sign, okay. So just looking at the plus sign, go closer, you will find that there will be a point where this circle will disappear. And that's where the blind spot comes in. So it's interesting that our brain fills in lots of information which is not available to us. Very famous thing that, if you read it, I know my friends, when they read it, they said, we are intelligent. You can read it, right? The whole point of this research, I don't know whether it is from Cambridge University or not. It's not originally from Cambridge University. But the point is that if the first and last letter is the same of the word, you still read it. But it's the actual story behind it that we do not read things, we predict. Reading is not live, it's prediction. So reading is always predictable. Why? I'll show you a video which is taken from eye movement. So someone reading it. So you see that they jump. And if you actually record their voice, you will find that there is a length called 8 to 12 letters ahead. So when they are reading this, they are actually predicting the next 8 to 12 letters. So reading is also becomes very natural because the brain helps us. And if you see the eye movement, it tells you that how we read actually. It's not letter by letter. It's sometimes not even word by word. The length is around 8 to 12 letters that we read.